I want to go into this issue of I know the media, and I watched some of the morning shows this morning. I have no idea why I was up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock watching them, but I was. And I'm watching some of this morning, and it's just very frustrating. And all the narrative this weekend and all the narrative this morning was about Donald Trump and Trump University and Judge Gonzalo Curiel presiding over the fraud lawsuits and whether or not the judge should have recused himself. And the fact that Donald Trump pointed out that he was of Mexican descent, even though he's an American. He was born in Indiana, Mexican immigrant parents. And Trump said that the heritage posted an inherent conflict of interest. That's not where the conflict of interest. I would say that Trump is, if he's guilty of anything here, it's not, he's being inarticulate and just wrong on what the argument should be. Number one, the judge is a member of this group called La Raza. Now, that's not the same as the National Council of La Raza, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. And the National Council of La Raza has some pretty controversial points of view. You know, they're the group that wants to reclaim Aztlan and parts of the U.S. that they think belong to Mexico. And they're real radical leftists. But, but this judge is a part of a lawyers group with the same name, La Raza, meaning the race. So the media has been insisting all weekend that the legal group that the judge is presiding over, the lawsuit has nothing to do with La Raza, the advocacy group. I mean, everybody from the Washington Post all over the web, they're claiming that the San Diego La Raza Lawyers Association is just like another local business group like the Rotary Club or the Kiwanis Club. They have absolutely nothing in common with National La Raza. All right, maybe there's no affiliation. Well, then somebody needs to explain why the website of the San Diego La Raza Lawyers Association includes a link to another website called borderangels.org, which instructs those sympathetic to the cause of illegal immigration on how to help illegals cross the border illegally. That's the judge's group that he's a part of. Anyway, some of the excerpts from borderangels.com, they prevent unnecessary death and harm reduction through desert water drops and border rescue stations and day laborer outreach and et cetera, et cetera. And with the help of volunteers like yourself, Border Angels leaves dozens of gallons of jugs of water in the desert along high-traffic migrant paths. It's not migrants, it's illegal immigration. And a judge that is part of a group that supports illegal immigration. That's a problem. Whether or not they're totally connected to the La Raza advocacy group is a different thing. Now, I want you to think about something. Think about this. Remember when Sonia Sotomayor referred to herself as a wise Latina? And that would influence how she makes her decisions for better because of her background and her experience. That wasn't a controversial statement. When Trump says maybe somebody with a Latino influence in a case, well, he's Adolf Hitler. He's a Nazi. Think about this. It's the same thing. Democrats furious at the appointment of Clarence Thomas. And he was called every horrible name in the book, Uncle Tom, and all these horrible, vicious, nasty things that have been said about him. And Clarence Thomas offended the left's concept of how things should be, and how dare he be black and conservative. Now, isn't there some similarity here in assuming that Sonia Sotomayor's comments or the way Clarence Thomas, that he didn't play to type, because he wasn't a liberal Democrat or a wise Latina? Doesn't that suggest that the background, the heritage of somebody might influence how they do things? That's what liberals believe. Now, if Trump believes it, it's a whole different story. Think about that.